Hello, hi, it's your girl, Mammi Dearest, and welcome to episode 2 of Echoes of Me to You. Guys, let me tell you, the reason why we're sitting in front of this monitor right here is because there was supposed to be my logo up here, but then the screen does like, I don't know how to explain it. So I don't know if you have any suggestions on how I can put the logo up here, up top without having the camera. Like, I don't know how these things work. And I don't know, y'all let me know how these things work, but let's get into episode 2. So welcome to episode 2 of Echoes of Me to You. And on episode 2, we're going to be tackling the comparison trap, right? All things comparing ourselves. I'm going to be open and honest with you guys. And I hope you guys take me with love and care. And you guys are open and honest up in the comment section. So let's start with what's in my cup. So what's in my cup today is green tea again. Guys, I honestly live for green tea. If you're sitting at home, what's in your cup? What are you guys drinking today? Because my episodes drop at night at 6 p.m. So you guys probably have like a glass of wine. If you're a tea person, a tea. If you're a juice person, a juice. It's very much summer. So hopefully I have like a cute mocktail in my cup next episode, but we on a budget. So you guys better watch the ads so that I can afford cute and nice things. So again, let me put up a disclaimer. Is it recording? Yep. Let me put out a disclaimer again that we are shooting in a public space. So if you guys hear noise in the background, please forgive until I get a new location, right? So let's get into the comparison trap. So guys, I'm not gonna be like, what's comparing? Like, I'm so used to Thought Digest format, like, what's comparison? Who are you comparing yourself to? Like, I'm so used to the Thought Digest format, and now there's nobody to ask those questions besides myself. So let's get into it. Who do I most often compare myself to and why? Okay, so guys, I am very self-conscious. I have a very low self-esteem. It's crazy. I know, like, look at me. It's crazy, yes, but I really have a low self-esteem. And I think part and parcel, majority of it is always being in front of the camera. Always being in front of the camera, meaning 100,000 plus people can nitpick how I look and they compare me to people. And that has then been ingrained into myself. And then I find myself sitting in comparison. So there are quite a few people that I compare myself to. And why do I compare myself to those people? So we open and honest, so I'm going to be open and honest. So the people I compare myself to, let me start with one in the social media space. So I have different people I compare myself to depending on the areas of my life I'm in, right? In the social media space, I think the person I compare myself most to is my co-host, mainly because she's somebody in my closest proximity. And by co-host, I mean Kaya. Kaya is the person I compare myself to in the social media space because she is someone who is a podcaster as well. We do very similar things. As a podcaster, we share some of the same values. So I know that like the manner in which she moves is something I would align myself to. I can't really compare myself to a Cyan Bougie, for instance, because like we're not the same. We're not in the same space. We don't move in the same industry. So I tend to compare myself to a lot of people around my space or a lot of people who do what I would like to do. So there's Kaya, there's Clarissa. Clarissa's another person I always compare myself to. I think I also compare myself to Sweet Revenge. Those are the people I compare myself to because those are the people who I guess are doing the things I would love to do. Do I usually compare myself upwards or sideways? From the way I'm communicating and from what I'm saying, it's clear that I usually compare myself sideways, never upwards, because Kaya and I are in the same trajectory, the same space. So it's sideways comparison. Clarissa, sideways comparison. Sweet Revenge, sideways comparison. All amazing women, by the way. And the fact that I compare myself to them has nothing to do with them, who they are, and everything to do with me and working on myself, to stop comparing myself, So it's kind of crazy how I compare myself to my peers. Kind of says a lot about me, actually, because I don't compare. I don't necessarily look up to them. I look to them. I look to them for inspiration. I look to them to be inspired. I look to them to be like, I can achieve this. I never necessarily compare myself upwards because I don't know, I don't look up to them, I look to them. And that says a lot about me. Maybe I should start, no, comparison is wrong, but maybe I should look upwards, Maybe I should do that because then I'm not moving to stay in the same place, but moving to progress and go upwards. Interesting. How does comparison affect my self-esteem and motivation? Guys, comparison has you down pat. Oh, damn. I realized in Gear Jump. I didn't even tell you who I compare myself to in other aspects of my life. In personal life, I have nobody I compare myself to in my personal life per se, purely because I don't think there's a life that belongs to someone that I want. I feel like we all have our challenges and we all have our problems, and there's no one person whose life I look to and I say, I want this person's life. So in a personal capacity, I don't think I compare myself to anybody. In terms of the corporate space, even in that aspect, guys, I won't lie, like CASA, there's nobody I compare myself to, purely because I don't really see it as something I really want to achieve. Like, it's something I will achieve inevitably, but there's no one who's making moves in that space that I'm like, I wish those are the moves I could make. So I guess I only compare myself to people in the social media space. I wonder what that says about me. Okay, let's get into how does the comparison affect my self-esteem and motivation? It does a lot. It really does a lot. It affects me so much because it's like, I compare myself to Sweet because I love her vlogs, for instance. And I'm just like, I can't put out a vlog because my vlog isn't going to look as good as her vlog. My vlog isn't going to be as nice to consume as her vlog. Like, oh my God, everybody loves her vlogs and they probably won't like mine if there's that type of vlogging that's out there to consume, So I feel like that's why I find it affects my motivation. And I feel like part and parcel on why I've stopped dropping vlogs as consistently as I should. Don't worry, I'll be back. I am back. Is purely because I compare myself to other vloggers and I'm like, I can't live that life. I can't do that. I can't release that. Guys, like, do you understand? I can't be showing you nice food, showing you cotton on unboxings because now I'm the breadwinner at home. All the money I make goes back home. So I guess that's why I've kind of stopped blogging because I'm like, what's the point of showing you guys me go to school, come back and eat bread and jam? So that's why I don't vlog. And so it does affect my motivation in that aspect. And then in terms of Kaya, like with Kaya, I'd find myself during Thought Digest, like in Thought Digest, like kind of like holding myself back, holding myself back, not necessarily, like not coming with a different opinion, not, like I remember we had an issue and it was because of short form content. I find Kaya to be brilliant when it comes to creating short form content. And she was like, I don't put in effort in Thought Digest short form content and I don't help out. Like, I don't really say much. And I was like, it's because when I spoke this one time, you kind of shut me down. And the things, in the way you suggested seemed to make more sense, more sense to me. Like, your way seemed to make more sense. And you've been doing so well and you're doing this so brilliantly. I don't want to try in that aspect because you are better than me. And she had to tell me that, no, that mentality, Zama, try and try and try. It doesn't matter if I'm better because it's a muscle that you work on. You do it as much as you do it so often that you become good at it. So that's how I felt for me. And then in terms of Clarissa, I think with Clarissa, I admire her in terms of and I compare myself in terms of the brands she works with. I think Clarissa has a lot of the brands I would love to work with, and they align so well with her because her content is so beautiful. She's so clean, girl. Like, I admire that girl so much. Like, and I think it's like, oh my God, if I'm unable to achieve the same look and feel in everything I do, because guys, I'm not I don't have aesthetics. Like, aesthetics is something I don't have. So I'm just like, if I don't create those aesthetics, if I don't do it like her, then why should I do it at all, you know? So it does affect my motivation. In terms of my self-esteem, it does as well. But in terms of self-esteem, I more compare myself physically to people when it comes to like self-esteem impact, you know. It's just like, I don't have the ideal content creator influencer body type. Like, guys, I'm not a stufuza, I'm not skinny, I'm just like weird. Like, I have this weird in the middle body type. And because of this weird in the middle body type, it's very difficult for me to kind of show up in the way I want and look the way I want to look, purely because I'm just like, it doesn't fit me the way it fits her. It doesn't look the way it looks. It doesn't look on me the way it looks on her, you know? And I think that's where my self-esteem is mostly impacted in terms of my physical image. That's where the comparison eats me up, because the clothes don't fit the way they do. And because they don't fit the way they do on them, on me, I don't get those brands. I feel like the only fashion house that has worked with me and taken the risk to work with me was Shein, because I think their target audience is everyday people. But who's to say I don't want luxury? Who's to say I don't want luxury, you know? But I don't have that, you know, I don't possess that. So I guess that's the way my self-esteem is impacted. What's a moment I was so focused on comparison that I miss celebrating my own growth? I feel like all the time. All the time. I'm so focused on these people do it this way that I don't really like celebrate my own growth. And let me put it like this. So with Thought Digest, our audience I love our audience down, and it's a very small, intimate audience, mainly because we don't really excite. We don't really, we don't excite people in a sense, and we don't do training topics. We are more growth and self-growth and so on and so forth. And the appetite for that amongst younger people doesn't really exist in this country. Like, Pumi Litwaba does really well in that content category, mainly because the older audience, like, she appeals to the older women. You know, she appeals to the women in their late 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s. And those women have the appetite for the type of content I create and we create. But they don't want to listen to us because we kids. Like, what is a child going to tell you about comparison? Like, so we don't really have a big audience, you know? And then I compare myself to podcasts such as Open Chats, and they have a really big audience. And I'm just like, I was too focused on those numbers and comparing the numbers and everything that I didn't realize that we're able to grow. We were able to establish a podcast in such a short amount of time, you know. I was too focused on comparing that I didn't see Thought Digest growth. And it hit me on the live show that, oh my God, there are people who buy tickets to want to see us. There's people who meet me in the streets and say, oh my God, I love what you're doing. I'm not seeing that growth because I'm so focused on comparison. So I guess, yeah, comparison really does stop me from celebrating my growth. How can I practice shifting from comparison to gratitude for where I am now? Oh, okay. I guess having conversations like this, having platforms like this, like sitting in these settings and being like, okay, I'm making these realizations that I compare myself, and I'm not comparing myself upward. I'm not comparing, comparing myself is affecting my motivation. It's affecting my self-esteem. It's affecting me seeing my growth. So now that I'm having this conversation, now that I'm aware of this, I'm going to be more mindful. You know, I'm going to be more gentle with myself. Like, I won't be so quick to write myself off and write my achievements off because of what another person is achieving. And I guess it's just having these realizations and sitting down and having these conversations. What I'll then tell what I'll then tell you guys and me to do, like I think what we should be doing is sitting down and saying one thing that you're grateful for every day. Like with your affirmations, and you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I am brilliant, I am amazing, I'm a child of God. Add to that list what you're grateful for. What are you grateful for in this season? Tell me, guys, what are you guys grateful for in this season? I'm grateful for people. Oh my God, guys, I'm grateful for people and this opportunity. Wait, let me sit more comfortably. How many minutes in? 14? We still good. How many minutes? 16. 16 minutes. Okay. What am I grateful for in this season? Let me get comfortable. I got comfortable. Okay, so I'm grateful for people. Like, let me give you guys context as to say why I'm grateful for people. So Thought Digest, I started it with people, and we're here. This venture, it's people who are making sure that these episodes come out on time, that I'm even creating this at all. I didn't have sound, guys. I'm shooting in a public area and I don't have sound. And I just went to a person, another content creator, a fellow content creator, Bongani. I don't even know that man like that. I've just seen his work and he doesn't know me like that. And I literally saw him in person and I was like, hey, do you have sound? And he said, I have sound. And now we're here. And then there's a lady who I'm working with on this project with, and she's amazing ideas to share and input in, and she put in those ideas, and this is why we're here. Then we have my friends who wake up to come and set the setup up for me, because it's not like this, guys. It does not look like this, but they come and they create the setup for me, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm also grateful for my partner who comes and helps me. Those are the things I am grateful for. I'm also grateful for God, because I realized that God moves into rooms before I move into them. Like, God shifts people's hearts before I arrive. He makes the path clear before I step on it. And even though there are pebbles and challenges on the road, those are necessary. He clears out what is not necessary and he leaves behind what is necessary. And I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful to be alive. These are the things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful to have this platform, So you need to sit and think and say, yes, I'm comparing myself. Yes, I have self-esteem issues. I have motivation issues. I have all these things. But if you continuously speak about what you're grateful for, it makes all those things look so minuscule, look so little. Well, guys, this is so amazing. I'm learning as we're talking. That's the thing that has me going crazy, Guti. I'm learning as we're talking. And I guess this is why I love these platforms, because these are my forms of journaling. These are my visual diaries. That's why it's echoes of me to you. Because, man, I love it over here. But anyways, those are the questions I have for you guys. Who do you guys compare yourself to? Why do you compare yourself to these people? Why is the comparison, is it upwards or is it sideways? What type of comparison is it? What is it about those people that you find yourself gravitating to, comparing yourself to, and not necessarily seeing their individuality and seeing their success, and then acknowledging your individuality and acknowledging your success? What is it in you that is making you move like that? And another question is comparison making you bitter? We got to tackle that. Is it making you bitter? Is it making you a bitter person who people don't want to be around, people don't want to interact with, because you are comparing yourself to them and then you become bitter? I'm grateful. I don't think comparison has made me bitter. And I think it's mainly because the nature of my heart. But I feel like a lot of people become very bitter because of moving in comparison, So you need to look at your heart posture. I think with everything, look at your heart posture. Last week we were talking about realities of failure. Look at your heart posture, And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed making it too. I'm gonna go and drink my green tea, eat my cupcakes, and rest, because it has been a hectic week. And you guys will find out about it on Tota Chase, where we give life updates. Yeah, we are just here to communicate with each other. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Oh my God, I didn't give these prompts last week. Crazy. Subscribe, like, comment, and share, and interact and do the right things. If you're listening on Spotify, can't wait to speak to you again next week. Love you guys loads. Bye.